Hello, and please feel welcome to Talk About Men. Between the two times I was seeing Leonard, I was on the rebound and was seeing a guy called Pete, who was master of a temple of the Golden Inner Order in Bristol. We decided to try for a baby and got pregnant very quickly. I went to an early scan for dates and unfortunately they saw that there's no heartbeat. I hadn't had any bleeding up until then. After a while I started to have some bleeding and eventually I said to Pete that they've told me the baby had died. He said, "But you already knew that, didn't you?" I'm not really sure what he meant by this, whether he thought I was psychic or whether because I'd had bleeding, but a lot of women have bleeding in pregnancy and it turns out okay. So, you still hope that things are going to be all right. Another thing he said was, "Oh, this is difficult," as an acquaintance of a friend of his had just had stillborn twins. I felt like saying, well, we can empathise with them, and that is a tragedy, and we can still be sad about our own loss. It doesn't make it any less sad or make it wrong for us to be unhappy to have lost a baby. Because it was a miscarriage, I had to go into hospital to because it wasn't passing on its own properly. When we were in the ward, Pete said, "It's just like having an abortion." Maybe he was upset himself, but it's a completely wrong thing to say. It's not at all like an abortion. Sadly, my baby's already dead and I don't want it to be. I'm not choosing to kill it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-abortion or, I'm pro-choice, but just no. So those are some examples of what not to say. There were also some friends of Pete's who also likened it to them having had an abortion. Just no. When a woman has a medical termination or miscarriage, it's really not the same. We didn't want that baby to die and we're only ending the pregnancy because it wasn't going to lead to a successful baby or one that is going to live for long outside the womb on its own. So yeah, those are some examples of what not to say when someone suffered a miscarriage. Other things that aren't really necessary are if people say, "Oh, it's very common," or "Oh, there must have been something wrong with the baby." If you're the partner of a woman who's suffered a miscarriage, just seem sad and try to comfort her and be kind to her. If you're a friend or anyone else, all you have to say is, "Oh, that's awful, sorry for your loss," and keep checking in on how they're doing so they feel cared for, liked and supported. Hope this helps. Thank you for listening to me talk about men. Please like, share and subscribe. And if you have a story to tell, email the link in the description.